Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome. I hope everybody's staying cool. I am occasionally staying cool. I'm the Chief Content Officer at Maker Studios. And yes, 10 billion views a month. So that slide has just been ruined. Spoiler alert. We're going to go through a little bit about who we are, just to level set and let everyone here know who Maker is and what we do. And then I'll talk a little bit about insights we have coming from content and creativity on the front lines as the largest distributor and producer on YouTube of short-form video. So Maker, who are we? We are the global leader in short-form online video. And it's true, the growth has been astronomical. We are, here's some of our numbers just to walk through it a little bit. We manage 55,000 creator channels, and we also produce, develop, and create our own content on owned and operated channels and on our own platform, Maker TV, as well as across the internet. So YouTube is absolutely our most important partner and our key distribution partner, but we are distributing content everywhere in this new age. 10 billion monthly views and growing, 650 million subscribers. But things that are really notable for this audience, right? 70% of our audience is international. And I come out of traditional media, where for many years I was a film and television lawyer. This is truly revolutionary in that our content is day and date global. There are no windows to our creators. They put a piece of content up and the audience is global immediately. 60% of our audience is millennial, right? In that sweet spot, 13 to 34. They're young. And of course, this is a mobile story. So 60% of our views are on mobile devices, and we expect that number just to grow and proliferate, especially in markets like Asia and Latin America, where consumers are just going straight to their mobile device. And it's very, very important when I'm going to talk about content that mobile, the device, really plays a key role in the creativity and the format of the content. So some insights that I've got certainly creating content with these 55,000 creators at Maker, right? One, the new authority is authenticity. Now this word authenticity seems overused, at least to me, but there's a reason that it's overused, and that's because this platform doesn't just ask for authenticity, it demands authenticity. Content must be authentic. It must be organic. And when we're creating and producing content, we take a cue from our digital creator channels. They know their own voices. They are authentic to those voices. Why? Again, that mobile device. This is the closest, right? The closest thing to our body. It's an extension, frankly, of my hand, much to many of my friends and family's dismay, right? We're addicted to it. And of course, now with the watch, it's getting smaller, and we all talk about the time when it's actually implanted into us. But the truth is, this is a one-on-one, intimate, authentic connection. And so our channel creators know that when they are posting anything, not just on YouTube, but across social media, it must be real to who they are. And they must stay real to who they are. And that's when working with brands as well. So it's really a North Star when we're working with brands and when brands are working together with our creators. What's real and authentic? What's natural? Again, that mobile device is essential because it's not just the intimate one-on-one connection through which I view content, it's actually the device where I create content. So in this world, audience is creator and creator is audience. And our content is a call to action for our audience to create. Again, unlike the traditional world where perhaps movie stars are larger than life, these YouTube creators are actually accessible. It's something that the audience feels they too can aspire to be. And in fact, what we notice is that superfans become hobbyists, become semi-professional creators, become professionals, and then become superstars themselves. This is something that everyone can access. And that makes it very, very different when you're thinking about creating content. This was a huge statistic that's probably been talked about a lot. I don't know if any of you have heard it, but Variety performed a study about 6 months ago or less among a subset of millennials and found that YouTubers were actually more popular than mainstream celebrities. So again, this new authority is authenticity, is real people that you can access, not celebrities, and frankly, not even big brand names, right? But people. This brings me to my next point. This is a very personal economy. The trust economy has shifted from brands and authoritative voices like mainstream media into people. The new trust economy is personal. And this is something that's very relevant as we, as a publisher, are creating content, but also for brands and advertisers to think about. It's not just about what you sell, it's about who you are. It's about your voice. And so it is essential that everyone thinks about who they are. You know, about a year ago, Maker Studios was acquired by the Walt Disney Company. And there's some very interesting parallels that I'll point out. Walt actually, when he created The Mouseketeers, which is a popular long-running television show that, of course, has been reimagined many times, when he created The Mouseketeers, it was actually the first time that children's television featured children, kids talking to kids, kids connecting and creating directly with other children through the television screen. And this was revolutionary at the time, although now it's commonplace in kids' programming. We raised this at Maker because we're really essentially doing the same thing, just YouTube is that platform for connection, where young people are the new authority and are connecting directly to other young people. So again, the mobile device empowers audience to be creator and creator to be audience. And this is a very essential connection and an essential point because you want your content to be a call to action, to inspire and empower your audience to actually get up and make content. That's what we do here at Maker. So this trust economy, another statistic, millennials trust recommendations from short-form creators, right? They're more likely to buy a brand that's recommended by a short-form creator than an authoritative voice. So we all have to rethink how we're really speaking to younger audience sets. How are we framing the message? What are we saying? And as I said, who are we? What is our voice? Who would we hang out with? Who would we spend time with? What kind of music would we listen to? Not what we're trying to sell, but what are we saying and who are we? With that, I'll show you a short video about Maker.
Making your way in the world today takes it. I'm thinking about what's next. Who are you?
Radiant. Who are you?
Nerdy. Who are you?
Nope, not gonna do that.
Excited. Who are you?
I'm too lazy. Who are you?
Happy.
Productive. Who are you?
Gassy. Who are you?
Who are you? Emotionally unstable.
Tired.
Positive.
I'm a maker. Who are you?
We produced that video with a lot of our biggest creators to really ask the question of ourselves, of our audience, and of brands and advertisers that we work with. Who are you? What is your voice? This question is essential, and this is the key to making compelling content. Now, authenticity can be scary because, especially for the advertising community, it means you have to let go of the mode of your message a little bit, right? And really lean into what the essential voice of the audience you're trying to connect with is. It might mean that you have creators actually create the messages around your brand, right? And what that means is you're not controlling it. You're letting creators take it and shape it. And it may be more ironic. It may be a bit more flip than you're used to seeing and controlling. And that sort of sense of courageousness and bravery in letting go of the message a little bit and letting the actual creators who are connecting with their fans take it and shape it is essential. So who are you brings me to our third sort of tenet of storytelling, right? On YouTube and on digital. And that's that when you've got your voice and when you're authentic to who you are, actually you can tell any kind of story. You can tell old stories, you can tell new stories, you can reinvent from old stories as long as they're in an essential, authentic voice. Anything can be the basis of your story. And again, I'll reference Walt Disney. Snow White, a classic fairy tale, a grim fairy tale, right? First started to appear in literature right around the early 19th century, late 18th, early 19th century. But Walt Disney took it and in 1937 created the first long-form cell animated movie. Now this was revolutionary. Animation, again, had only been really featured in short-form content, and now he was coming out with a feature-length film. And of course, it's iconic. It was a blockbuster movie, and it created an entire genre of storytelling. Now it would be strange if we didn't have 2 or 3 massive hit animated films, but at the time, people did not think that 90 minutes could carry an animated feature, and it could and it did. But what's interesting to note is he took an old classic morality tale, a fairy tale, something that had been probably orally passed down for centuries, and then through Grimm committed to print in, as I said, the early 1900s. So at Maker, we're using that as a touchstone. How can we reinvent and recreate using that authentic voice, staying true to our creators, but maybe borrowing from something very, very classic? And with that, I'll show you Maker Tales, one of our new series in which our YouTube creators are reimagining and reinventing through classic fairy tales.
Even if I see the most beautiful things up in the sky, if I don't see you, take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Toi le soleil uni, toi qui parles à mon cœur, toi qui parles sans moi. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me
All right, thank you. Yeah, we're excited. We are excited about this series. We are going to be launching it this fall. And again, just to talk about how much freedom there is in this new world, we are developing that into a long-form television project. So we're looking at it as an anthology series where every season we would reimagine and reinvent one of these fables, again, through modern eyes and with our biggest digital talent. So with that, I'd love to do some Q&A, talk about anything that, if you guys have any questions, talk about anything that we're working on, anything that's coming, anything that I've just spoken about. Hi.
What brands have been doing great jobs working with your artists and the makers themselves? I think it's, as a brand myself, we're always trying to find that fine line of partnership and collaboration, because it's less about sponsorship and more about authorship and collaboration. So curious to know the best. I'm learning as I go, and we're all learning together. Just curious to know who's doing it well and what are some of the best practices you can share.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a great partnership with Target recently, and I raise it because we've been able to really hit that sweet spot where we're connecting creators who are authentic fans of Target, right, with the brand content, and then letting them reimagine and create. Target has a Thanks a Billion teachers campaign, and one of our talents, the Holderness family, created an original song for it that Target's so excited with, they're going to use it in other media for the campaign. So what I would say is, and this is a trend I see growing, is really enrolling these creators to be collaborators at the earlier level, and this is how the industry is maturing and evolving. Perhaps Felix Kelberg, who was at the end of my Who Are You video, right? The biggest star on YouTube. I mean, Felix works with brands all the time. But what I often say to brands who are looking to work, you don't have to just hit the PewDiePies, right? You can actually get more emerging creators, enlist them, enroll them, partner with them early, grow them as they grow their own media careers. That's a trend. Actually involve them in Q&A on your product. We're starting to see a lot of that. So not just have creators produce content, but maybe test new products, get first copies of something, or that actually enlists them not just in your marketing, but in your actual, core business, whatever that is. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking a question. Then I'm not alone up here. Yes.
You spoke a lot about sort of authenticity and how important that is with
Yeah.
Your demographic. And I was wondering, sort of working with brands can almost directly defy that.
Yeah.
And sort of how selective are you when it comes to working with brands and choosing who you want to work with? And sort of what process do you go through in deciding, like working with Target, is this truly authentic for what we want to do? Or, how sort of selective are you with saying yes and no?
It's a great question. We're lucky because we have enough scale with 55,000 creators that we can find creators that match almost any brand voice. And they're really our North Star, in that we work with every brand and we're open to work with all brands. Not all of our creators want to work with all brands. So, when we're creating and producing custom content, it flows from what the creator will do. And something I've seen coming from traditional, again, a huge difference, is that money isn't always the deciding factor. It is sometimes, but not always. So you can put a big check in front of a creator and they think, if this is going to interfere with the trust that I have with my audience, I'm not going to do it. So the way I'd answer is it's more a game of matching the right creator to the brand. So we work with almost any brand, but sometimes a brand will want a certain creator, and that creator isn't. It's like, sorry, that's not true to me. I won't talk about that product, or I won't, appear in the content. So I think having a lot of creators helps, having a big pool from which to fish. And I would also say we work with creators out of network, and that's a trend that, will continue as well as the industry matures. I think it's not just, yes, maker talent is primarily who we work with, but if the right creators outside of network, we'll do that as well. So thank you.
Is there anything about viewer engagement on YouTube that you guys are seeing? Are people being engaged longer, or is it actually getting shorter in terms of the length of the content and how long you're holding people for?
We see engagement growing. So content is shorter, but engagement is actually growing. And in fact, average session times are mirroring television watch times. So meaning a consumer-made playlist, multiple videos over a 22-minute or 30-minute period. So yeah, I think this is just growing. What's going to be really interesting is when we're measuring composite views, not just in a single sitting, but across a 24-hour period, since this really is also how the content is being consumed, is in snacks, bits, pieces while you're waiting for the bus or for a friend, or, all of that. But yeah, session times, we're just seeing growth, and we're seeing growth across the board. It's really reflective of video just becoming a predominant form of modality online.
Is there sort of an ideal video length time if they're getting shorter? Is it 60 seconds? Is it 90 seconds? Are you seeing anything like that at all?
No, I mean that's a great question because I think it's platform specific, right? And I don't know. I'm going to look at Brittany because our average video time was 11 minutes. Don't know if that's still 7. Okay, so it's getting shorter. That's skewed a bit because our gaming content can go for hours, right? So we haven't, I believe, deduped for gaming content. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not misleading here. So the gaming content, of course, the Let's Play videos can go, or the podcasts can go for several hours, and we haven't yet deduped that number, but it was 11, now it's 7 on YouTube. But to your point, platforms are going to dictate length of content. So Vine, Snapchat, it's going to be interesting to see as Snapchat evolves its content strategy and potentially goes into longer form viewing. But right now, it's, of course, shorter. So I think something we're exploring is multi-platform content that varies based on, might be a series, but it varies based on the platform. We might have a 4-minute short form series on YouTube with snaps and vines, Instagrams, as kind of a holistic content strategy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good? I'm really good. Actually.
Oh, good. Yeah. These beanbags are looking really comfortable to me, though.
Perfect.
It's
this
definitely
chair as well. So
definitely day 3 of Cannes.
we're both comfortable.
A nap is in order. Do they have a community nap at the Google Beach? I should have just said my session will be a community nap. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I still have a question. Actually, so you say you have 55,000 creator, right?
Yeah.
So my interest is, I would like to know if you have specific metrics on which verticals are referring more to your service product, and what's your what's your vision about the next trends in terms of verticals.
Okay. So yes, we do curate our content into 23 distinct verticals. So, and think of what you'd see on a traditional cable spectrum. So news, sports, games, fashion and beauty, lifestyle, entertainment. We're curating. The biggest category on Maker is games by far. So we're massive in the gaming category, and of course that's one of the biggest categories on YouTube. Unboxing, right? Massive category, and very, very interesting now that we're part of Disney. And I believe it's overtaken gaming as the biggest content vertical format on YouTube now, is this unboxing. So that's something that we expect will continue. And I would point as a trend, videos where kids and others are opening toys. Where we're exploring is how do we make a format out of that? How do we create storytelling out of the opening of a toy, which is just incredibly compelling, emulating Christmas or a birthday? How do we actually start to tell a story? And we're doing that with EvanTube, one of our creator partners. We've just done a variety show with him called Neon Arcade. Out of that, we've birthed 3 other formats, all out of unboxing. So I'd say, rather than point to a specific vertical trend, I mean, unboxing is definitely already here, it's arrived. What I'd say is we're evolving the biggest verticals. We're taking them from their core, their core format, and saying, how can we actually reinvent this? How can we make this more of a narrative? How can we take this and, take traditional storytelling formats to it?
So you can see like unexpected collaboration between some creators in some field with advertiser in a total different field, or is it like always?
Yes. And there are things I can't publicly announce here, but definitely we're also taking our biggest YouTubers and they're collaborating with traditional creators. Traditional creators want in on this, right? And I've been doing this a while. I was at Yahoo before Maker. It is now an incoming business. It's finally turned the corner to where, I was calling Hollywood agencies trying to get people 6 years ago. Now they're calling us and saying, this director, this writer, this actor wants to be on YouTube, wants to work with this YouTuber. So not just collaborating with brands from different genres, but collaborating with traditional Hollywood people who want to do this, but can't quite figure out how to get there and want to do it the right way. the interesting thing is going to be authenticity. You know, I think movie and TV stars, sometimes their celebrity is based on mystery. It's based on the fact that we don't really know much about them, right? There's a mystique. George Clooney, larger than life, right? And on YouTube, that doesn't work, right? It's got to be real. So it's going to be interesting, I think, to see as these worlds merge, how celebrities even defined, you know? Can big movie and TV stars take off the mask and connect to an audience in the same way that YouTubers already do? And I don't know the answer. We're working on it at Maker. My PR person knows I'm chomping at the bit to talk about a big project we just closed with YouTube, actually, partnered with YouTube, where we're taking one of the biggest television talents and one of the biggest YouTubers and putting them together in a totally new way. But I can't. But
Which
zip
brand?
it. Zip it.
All right.
Just find me tonight after several drinks. I'm an open book.
I'll look for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, thank you for your time. I much appreciate
Thank you.
your
Yeah.
insights. I was just wondering, how does the network you're running grow? You know, do you identify yourself the next big things or the next big YouTubers, or do they reach out to you and say, I have an idea and I'd like you to help me?
Both. So we're very much involved in helping them realize creative ideas, and we also pitch them ideas. That's what my team actually does. So we develop and produce content both that emanates from them and that we come in and pitch them. Hey, you know, the project I was just referencing, something we pitched this particular YouTuber. So it works both ways. And yeah, we are signing talent. You know, it's a competitive marketplace. So we're signing talent that are sometimes with other networks, or we're growing talent organically. Both. All right. Well, thank you very much for all being here, and have a great Cannes. And thank you.